I would practice the possession eyes on my own, just filming myself with my iPhone. I would take like videos of myself doing it because obviously I can't see what it looks like. But yeah, I had to kind of figure out how to do it. And I still haven't mastered it yet because it's I don't know, like I'll go cross-eyed sometimes or like, I don't know. It's hard. Hi, I'm Sadie Sink, and this is how I became Max Mayfield in Stranger Things. I first auditioned for Stranger Things, I think in 2015. It was whatever year the show came out, that was the year I auditioned. Because I remember watching the show like 2 weeks before I got the initial call from Max, and it was that summer that Stranger Things was just blowing up. The character was named Max, always, but they did give me like dummy sides just for the sake of the audition because they can't reveal anything in the plot. And I think it was a scene with Max's brother, Billy, and then also one with Dustin and Lucas, but their names were changed. I didn't know who I was actually having this scene with, but it was kind of easy to guess. The scenes that I did for the audition, they kind of did make it in the show. A lot was changed, but it was kind of like a filler scene for maybe the one where Max is getting asked to go trick-or-treating with Dustin and Lucas.
I didn't realize it was such an honor to go trick-or-treating with you.
I remember there was a version of that. That was the audition scene. And then also the car scene with Billy.
Say it!
When he's driving really fast and almost runs over Max's friends.
That was a close one, huh?
There was no chemistry read with Dacre. I just kind of met him at the table read. But there was a chemistry read with Gaten and Caleb, who play Dustin and Lucas. And that was really fun because I had known them actually from our early years on Broadway together. So they were familiar faces, and that kind of made the chemistry all the more better. I think they were still figuring out what direction they were gonna go with Max, if she would maybe end up with one of the boys, if she didn't at all. They didn't know which boy it would be. And that I remember being a big question behind the scenes of like, oh, who's Max gonna end up with? But it was always Lucas. It was always gonna be Lucas.
Are you trying to ask me to dance, stalker?
No, of course not.
I heard you might have white lied a little about the skateboarding ability.
I did. Well, I never said I could skateboard. Let's be clear.
I skateboard, trust me.
But I did say I could rollerblade, as if that would help me. But I was kind of like, let me just see what they say about this. And I don't rollerblade. I've never rollerbladed, but I was like, I'm just gonna give them that and see what they do, because they were really looking for someone with skateboarding experience. I remember in the audition when I was like, okay, who is this Max character? It kind of came naturally because she was everything that I wished that I was. How cool she was and laid back and maybe sarcastic and sure of herself she was. So I just kind of embodied that and had to get rid of like sweet little Sadie for a bit. I think as kids, we were really inspired by the Duffer Brothers and kind of encouraged to be ourselves through these characters, of course, but we were told to watch movies like Stand By Me and The Goonies. And I think the thing all of those like iconic films from the 80s have in common is like the chemistry between all the children and how authentic they are. And then as we all got older and grew as actors and grew to understand our characters more, and maybe the plot thickened a bit and we had to put even more preparation and thought and care into it. That was really exciting. One, because the Duffer Brothers trusted us enough and saw us grow and develop as actors to trust us with heavier material.
Should have seen that one coming.
There was more talk with Caleb, like for this last season maybe, of Max and Lucas's relationship, or more so in like season 4, some of the later seasons. And then with Millie,
Hi.
11 and Max's friendship is so important to both characters. And Millie and I like also were like so close, and especially when we were kids, and we would had so much fun together. So that made the chemistry on screen even better. But yeah, I think Max's relationships and their importance to her, like it really comes into play around season 4. I remember heading into season 4 A lot of it did come naturally, and I like channeled maybe what I was experiencing in my own life in a way, because I had just turned 18 and I was living on my own in Atlanta and going to set alone for the first time, because before that you have to have a parent or guardian with you. So this was a big change for me, and I kind of felt like maybe a bit of loneliness and isolation that Max was also feeling. So I remember doing a lot of journaling through as the character. That kind of helped me at the time. Listened to a lot of Kate Bush and just kind of got into that world a bit. I do still have the journals. They're actually like in my parents' house, I think, and I keep on meaning to get them because it'd be so embarrassing if they found them. I like don't want anyone to read them. I think Max, if like you look at her in season 3 or season 2, she has kind of like a confidence to her walk, and then I think everything kind of goes a little bit more inward in season 4, whether like she's trying to make herself smaller or more invisible in moments. For season 4, that was like a lot of stunt work and a lot of being lifted into the air. And so we did rehearsals for that like several months in advance and just got me used to kind of being on the wire. There's a lot of eye work. That actually is probably the hardest thing about being Max, is how many times she's possessed and she has to I have to do this thing with my eyes, or there's contacts or something. That sucks. And that I had to do in the air. We kind of took like what we'd seen in past seasons. It had already been established of like, okay, when a character gets possessed, it kind of goes something like this. I would practice the possession eyes on my own, just filming myself with my iPhone. I would take like videos of myself doing it because obviously I can't see what it looks like. But yeah, I had to kind of figure out how to do it. And I still haven't mastered it yet because it's I don't know, like I'll go cross-eyed sometimes, or like, I don't know. It's hard. One thing about Stranger Things is there is no usual day. It depends on whether we're on days or nights, but let's just take like a Monday, for example. Anywhere from 5 to 6 a.m. pickup, and then go to set, which could be 20 minutes away or could be an hour away, depending on the day. Get like 5 minutes in your trailer, and then you are swept away to hair and makeup, which for Max is luckily very easy. Then after that, you could be pulled straight to set, or you could be waiting in your trailer for 4 hours. I've had to wait in my trailer for 8 hours. It really, like, there's no rhyme or reason depending on the difficulty of whatever's being done that day. But yeah, you'll shoot for 6 hours, and then lunch will happen, and then you'll go shoot for like 7 or 8 more, and then go home. Anytime it's a night shoot, people get really delirious and tired, so I think the most memories are made during night shoots, especially when all the kids are together. The kids, we're grown up now, but like, yeah, when that group is together for a night shoot, yeah, hit like 3 a.m. and there's no controlling us. The snowball scene in season 4, where it's like the big Vecna 11 showdown, and I get like thrown across the gym or something. That must have been 3 or 4 days, or like a whole week that we spent in the gymnasium. But then after that too, there's a scene in like the mind layer, that like red void or whatever. And that took forever too. Those were really difficult. Also because the floor is like covered in blood and is super slippery. So running on that really, really sucked. The mind layer, for example, that is basically just a giant platform that looks like what you see, is kind of like, it has like the vines and looks like this like red bloody rock on the ground. That's all there. And then there's like maybe some pillars or anything that's close by to the camera, that'll be real. Everything beyond it looks like we're kind of in this infinite red void, but it's not. It's just that one little platform. And that's what you're dealing with. Everything else is blue screen. Luckily, Vecna was not. That would have been really difficult, having to act with like a man in like a green suit, but most of the environment is not really there, so you just have to kind of make believe. Starting out with Max, it was very sporty, very skater girl with some California influence. We just wanted her to look a little bit different than the other students in Hawkins, Indiana. And it all kind of stayed consistent in season 2. You never really saw her in anything other than a track jacket and like her favorite pair of jeans and some Vans. Season 3, it got really fun. Max had friends, she was comfortable, she was playing around with her style while still having like nods to California and like, you know, some like athleisure, I guess. We definitely played a lot with color and patterns, and that's super 80s, and also became super Max, that she loves color, which I guess changes in season 4. As she's grieving and working out all of this trauma from Billy's death, all the silhouettes and colors become a little bit more muted or baggier, and not a lot of like thought or joy is put into how she presents, I guess. Like you would think they'd be really boring fittings, but they were actually like really thoughtful, and everything had a story, especially during season 4. And if you even like think about the jacket that she's wearing during like the Kate Bush running up that hill scene, it's a little bit brighter than what we see Max in that season, but that's because we knew I'd be covered in blood, so it had to be something lighter where the blood would show up on. Yeah. I've learned so much from being on Stranger Things and playing Max, especially when you're with the character for so long, not even over a long period of time, but those years being formative years. It's shaped who I am, truly. So because of that, Max she'll always be with me. I never really have to say goodbye to her because we're kind of the same person in some ways. And the show, it means everything, and taught me like pretty much everything I know.
Are you happy with Max's ending in the show?
I am very happy with Max's ending in the show. Very happy.